Silence, please. Keep quiet. Stop talking. Words which I'm sure will take many of us back to our childhood and kindergarten classes, right? Right back to our teachers shouting and trying their best to get us to listen to their lessons and to their instructions. That we have to maintain silence in order to be able to listen. It's an age old formula that we have always been taught and will continue to be taught for generations to come. And maybe rightly so too. SILENT, LISTEN. To be silent, to listen, is what we're going to talk about today, where the words are just a combination of the same letters. In today's corporate scenario, so let's look at the organizations today, not just about school, not just about kindergarten. In today's corporate scenario, it is neither just technical competency, not just a hardworking ability that take priority whilst employing individuals. Communication is one of the vital aspects taken into consideration too. And a core aspect of communication is the ability to listen. Today, in the fast moving world, in this volatile, complex world, maintaining personal relationships sometimes become a challenge, especially when both partners are busy with their respective jobs and have lesser and lesser time to give each other and their family. In both the above cases, be it professional or be it personal, taking time out and truly listening to the other person can be an effective solution. And now, with the remotely working from home options and how this seems to be a new normal, wherein we've got to be around each other a lot more, should we actually learn how to listen and how to actually manage that better? It cannot be a coincidence that the word listen and silent are anagrams that is made out of the same alphabets. It's therefore but natural that for us to learn how to LISTEN, one must learn to be SILENT first. Let's now understand what being SILENT means. So let's start with S. S means sincere. Be sincere when you're listening. Do you remember the times when the person in front of you was smiling with a somber look on their face with all the right signs of listening? They're nodding, they're smiling, they're leaning forward, they're looking at you, and yet you just know that they are not interested in what you're saying, that they're not sincerely listening to you, but just so for the heck of it. Well, remember this. So can everybody else make out too. So when you are doing the same, when other people are talking, understand that even they will realize that you're just faking it too. Yes, so here's the first step to being silent to listen. Be sincerely interested in what you're supposedly listening to. Take interest and show interest. So that's the S. Be sincere. I. I stands for being inquisitive. When I say inquisitive, I mean be curious. Show interest. When one is intently listening to something, one's brain automatically starts working on the same too. It just starts to click, 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 and the gears click on. And this raises questions in the listener's mind. We start to think, we start to wonder, we start to get curious, we want to know more, and then we start probing. So, build the curiosity and show inquisitivity by inquiring a lot more. So, ask questions and start getting them clarified. Now, this also helps the speaker to understand that you are listening truly, and not only that, that you're attempting to go a little beyond the mile and attempting to understand what's being said. It's such a good idea to ask both relevant and non threatening simple questions to clarify, to customize the conversations with you. And that is the I, be inquisitive. Now comes the L part of it. Like the person. Like the person. Make sure that you like who you're listening to. Now, I don't mean to say that you have to really love the person, personally be close to the person, or really, really like. What do I do if I don't like this person? Then at least like the topic, like the content and the value that they can offer on the topic, but have a positive approach towards that particular individual or that conversation. Because if you don't have that, it's going to show up in those little cues of your body language across your face. Make sure that their communication ability, their competency in the subject, their handling of the audience, their content, what they're saying, how they're saying, who they are, know and like something at least in this. Many times I've seen an amazing topic listening just go flat because, according to the listener, the speaker's behavior and value system did not resonate with what was being said. Not just the content of what is being said, but also the person saying it has a lot of impact on how well it is listened to. So ensure that you are talking to and you are hearing from the right person, that you're asking the right person. So L, like person, like topic, like content, or like the person's competence. Find yourself a reason to listen to this person at this point of time. That's L for like person. And then comes the E. This is a biggie. E is to empathize. Now, empathize and sympathize are different, and so goes every leadership book in the world. So, have an understanding and relate to the individual, not necessarily sympathize. A lot of my friends either jump into giving me solutions the moment I start sharing something, and when I say I don't want a solution, I just need you to listen, they go, okay, hmm, hmm, hmm. Go ahead, I'm listening. But that's not listening. I don't want you to go fully silent, nor do I want you to offer me solutions. I want you to empathize with me, to relate to what I'm actually saying. Because sometimes listening is not just about hearing what is being said, but it's also about communicating the feeling that the other person is feeling. Especially when the other person sharing information connected with emotions, be it positive or negative, the joy or sadness, one ought to be able to relate and express sympathy on the same towards the other person. See how easily I said that? Sympathy. And how so easy it was to use that word? Nope. Express empathy and not sympathy to the other person. After all, they're talking to a human being and not to a wall. And so, E stands for empathize. And now comes the SILEN. N stands for the non-verbal communication. It's the non-verbal communication, the body language cues and the interpretation of body language. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Your actions speak so loudly that I cannot hear your words." The impact of the right non-verbal communication while listening is extremely vital for the other person to get the feeling and the acceptance that listening is happening. It's not just are you listening, but is the other person also thinking that you are listening. So, nod once a while when appropriate, smile at the other person, lean forward, show facial expressions, and let the other individual know that yes, you are listening. Now, if you ask me, but I can do all this, Revati, and I may not listen. So, what's the whole point? Now, that is where the S part of being sincere combines with the N part of non-verbal communication and actually create the composition and the compound of listening. Without either of them, the other one does not work. So N stands for non-verbal communication. T, the last one. And T, most surprisingly, is the exact opposite of actually listening. T is to talk. Yep, I said talk. Listening also involves talking. It's about self disclosure, once in a while to relate and to talk something similar to a certain extent. One sometimes needs to paraphrase what the other person said. Oh, this is what you said, right? And confirm understanding, clarify the understanding once in a while. One also needs to ask the right questions once in a while and also summarize and steer conversations. Also important to talk during listening is to once in a while also express thoughts about yourself to the listener as a course of self disclosure so as to continue conversation smoothly. This helps avoiding those awkward pauses in between and helps enhancing the rapport that actually works out. So, talking to the right extent in the right manner at the right time is vital to listen effectively. So that's T for talk. So SILENT. Be sincere, be inquisitive, like the person or the competence, do non-verbal communication and talk as and when required. Be silent, SILENT, to listen, LISTEN. From Robert Cialdini, who said that listening to the other person helps you convey your point more effectively, to Stephen Covey, who emphasized listening as very important under his fifth habit. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. In his popular book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, the importance of listening to one another is highlighted in many ways. Dale Carnegie, when he talks about how to influence friends, how to influence people and win friends, how to win, influence people, all the book, that's a way old book, he still talks about listening being a very integral part of this. We ought to learn and practice the above constantly. So, whether you are a personal relationship, is it a spouse, is it family, is it children, or whether you're looking at a work relationship with peers, with supervisors, subordinates, or entrepreneurs, whether you're looking at partnership and vendors and consultants and customers and clients, no matter where you are, in what kind of a conversation you are, the ability to learn to do LISTEN by applying the concepts of SILENT can unleash the leader in you and unlock the potential of growing forward as a leadership. So, this is Revati from the YouTube channel Leadership Unlocked. Thank you for listening in today. Please subscribe to my channel and please drop notes about where you felt that you've been listened to, where you felt you've not been listened to, and what is your biggest learning on listening. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Would love to keep learning and to keep sharing from all of you. So remember, you have the power to listen by being SILENT. All the best.